welcome back to Let's Talk PMA. Today on episode 2, we're talking about PMA, what does it mean and why is it important? I'm Allie. So, Mom, why don't you go ahead and tell us what PMA is?
PMA is positive mental attitude. What you do when you just want to make sure that you're giving off that positive vibe for people around you. Creating a joyful environment, making sure that what you feel inside is joyful and positive, and when you do that, you give it off to other people as well. So positive mental attitude, it's positivity, it's mental strength, it's really your attitude towards everything that you do, making sure that it's in a positive manner.
Yeah, definitely. Just finding the greater joys in the small things, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, let's go into what does it mean. For me, positive mental attitude is definitely being able to see the joy in everything that you can, no matter the size, whether it's something super great, something super small, anything in your life, you definitely just have to find those greater joys. In sports specifically, being able to cherish the team that you have, the opportunities that you're being given, especially just being able to play, and the opponents that are given to you that are there to challenge you, and all the while being able to keep your head high throughout all the challenges that you go through with any sports.
And sometimes that's hard to do, right? How do you do that when you get down on yourself for making a mistake? How do you keep that positive mental attitude?
It's not easy. I think you and I both can say from experiences, challenges throughout sports, it's hard to keep your head up when you make mistakes, when there's challenges, when there's opponents that are there that are challenging you and making you do things that you're not wanting to do. But it's really, really important to be able to keep that positive mindset, because when you keep your head high and you don't drop your head when you miss a shot or you make a mistake, you keep performing better. You get better, and most of the time you will make up for that mistake if you keep your head high. When you drop your head down, that's usually when you miss more shots, you make more mistakes, and then it can affect your teammates as well.
Right. Well, sometimes even though, if you do get your head down, as long as you're keeping that mental voice in your head saying, yep, I did it, I'm down for a second, and making sure that, you come to realize that, okay, I don't have to do that. I'm here for my teammates. It was a mistake. I can get better. I can do better next time.
Oh yeah. And it also plays an effect to being able to pick up your teammates, right? Yeah. So being able to pick up your teammates when they are, bringing their head down, they're not having that positive mental attitude. It's on you as a teammate to be able to pick them up and say, hey, it's okay, because a lot of the time, people think that when they make a mistake, they're letting their team down, right? Mm-hmm. So being able to go up to that teammate and say, hey, we're not mad at you, just let's get it back and let's make up for that mistake, right?
Yeah, how do you adjust to when you have a teammate that just can't shake it?
That's really hard. All you can really do at that point is just keep on your teammate to tell them, like, it's okay, get it back. Because you can only help other people so much, there comes a time where it's on them and they have to figure it out themselves.
Well, even just doing the high five and just really making sure that you change the subject, get them out of their head.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, stay on them about keeping their head up and saying, you got this. Of course, keep staying a good teammate, but if they still can't do it, stay on them and be a good teammate, but they have to be the ones to pick themselves up as well.
So, Allie, as a coach, what do you do with your athletes when they're on the bench and they're just upset? They're mad. Either they're mad because they're on the bench, they're mad because something they did on the floor, they don't understand why they're not playing. What do you do?
That's funny. I had a lot of that this last weekend in this tournament. Tournaments can be really hard. There's a ton of games. You're playing multiple days, playing multiple teams, playing 5 to 10 games a day, so that's a lot. And, keeping that positive mental attitude even when you're exhausted is really hard. So you see a lot of that during tournaments specifically. And I saw a lot of that this weekend. So there would be times where I would sub someone out just to give them a break, right? Just to give them a little break, say, okay, get some water, take a break for a second, and then you're going to go right back in. And I had a couple girls. I had one girl, she came out and she started to get upset like she was going to cry. And I looked at her and I said, why are you crying? Why are you upset? You didn't do anything wrong. And she was like, oh, I'm getting subbed out. And I said, you're getting subbed out so you can get a break so you can go back in. So it's being able to not think that everything you're doing is wrong. Just because you get subbed out doesn't mean that you made a mistake. Most of the time you get subbed out just to get a break, get some water, so then you're fresh and ready to go back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's important as a coach too to be able to express that. Sometimes coaches get so involved in the game and getting people subbed in and out and aren't seeing that the kids are upset, or seeing that, they say, oh, the kid's getting upset because I subbed him out, I'm not going to play him again, because they're all of a sudden have a bad attitude. So
yeah, exactly.
I think it's important, at least to have the assistant coach, be able to go over to him and be like, hey, what's up? Make sure you're asking those questions of, what's going on? Why are you upset? And being able to explain to him, hey, we're just giving you a break. And that's all it is. And, or you need a break just to get out of your head for a second because, you've made 3 mistakes in a row. We're going to give you a break to, figure out what's going on. And then we're going to help you get back in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I had girls who came out and they thought, oh, I'm letting my team down. It's like, wait, what makes you think that? Because you're actually playing really well. You're playing really well. Just because you made one mistake, I'm saying, hey, I talked to a girl this weekend. I said, every single person on this team has made a mistake. They've missed a layup. They've turned the ball over. Whatever it was, they've all made mistakes. And just because you make one doesn't mean that you're letting your team down. Your team needs you. So your team needs you to pick up your head and needs you to be locked into this game so then that we can keep going.
Exactly.
You really don't let your team down until you drop your head and you can't pick yourself up. If you can't hold yourself accountable and you can't get out of your own head, that's when you start to let your team truly down, because they need you and they need you to be truly locked in.
So what do you do with your athletes, during practice or outside of practice, whatever it is, to help them to understand what PMA is? Do you coach them on how to have a positive attitude and what to do in those situations that they get broke down? How do you deal with that?
Usually what my go-to is making them understand that mistakes aren't detrimental, because usually that's what makes girls drop their head, is when they make a mistake. That's when the PMA goes from really high to really low. And so a lot of times it's, everybody makes mistakes. Mistakes aren't a big deal. As long as you don't keep making the same mistakes. If you fix your mistakes, you move on, you get the ball back, you make up for it, or you fix what you did wrong, then really, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong there. You know what I mean? So really just getting girls to understand, or any player to understand, that mistakes are okay and they're normal. Even the greatest players make mistakes, Michael Jordan made mistakes. LeBron James makes mistakes. Steph Curry makes mistakes. All these amazing players, they make mistakes in every single game, They don't have amazing games every single time they're on the court.
Right. No one's perfect.
Exactly. But it's being able to, even if you have a bad game, being able to say, okay, well, even though I'm not playing my best, I'm still going to be a good teammate, and I'm going to still do my best to make sure my teammates are, playing at their highest.
And to do that, even when you're on the bench, we always, talk to you guys when you're on the bench. If you're not playing, you're just as much as a teammate on the bench as you are on the floor. Exactly. So making sure that you're always encouraging your teammates, making sure that if they get down that you're cheering them on and, just doing everything on the bench that you would on the floor, just to making sure that you're that teammate that is creating that positive self-talk all the way around, not just when you're on the floor.
Exactly. Why is it important for us to have that PMA? What are the benefits that come from it?
Oh gosh, there's so many benefits. It's just pretty much life, really. The more you practice positive mental attitude, the more you're going to carry it, not just on the floor, but off the floor as well. So in school and just your daily life, how you interact with your friends, it all plays a huge difference. So the more positive you can keep yourself and practice good self-talk and how you talk to others plays a huge role in how people react to you and the influence that you're putting on and off the floor.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't think there's really any negative sides to PMA. PMA is definitely something that's not just for sports, it's for everything in life. Some specific, kind of going a little specifics here. It can really help with effective thinking. So really going into, more thoughtful thoughts, I guess, if thoughtful thoughts. When it comes to like a game, making sure that you're making the right plays, thinking about, okay, what could I have done better here? Everything like that. It can also help you regain a lot of focus. So if you lose your focus, oh, I missed that shot. Okay, now I'm a little upset about it. Let me come back, refocus. Okay, it's okay I made that mistake. I'm going to go and I'm going to make this next shot. Which also, that goes straight into confidence, being able to just say, all right, that's fine. And I'm going to go, I got this right here. I'm going to go get a steal. I'm going to go make a layup, whatever it is, that just having that confidence, because that even if you do make a mistake, that you're going to be able to fix it. And, confidence, keeping your head in the game, that all of it kind of runs into the same, it's all about the same things, right? They all affect each other for sure.
Well, it's, and it's hard too, because sometimes you have so many influences. You have your parents, you have your game that you're playing that you may not have a good game. You may be just upset about everything. And so it really doesn't happen overnight. You may be a person that all you ever think of are the negative thoughts. And every time you make a mistake, you beat yourself up. So it really takes time and practice and just changing how you think about everything to be able to say, okay, I don't have to beat myself up. It's okay. And making sure that, you just are always keeping yourself in check. Okay, I can't shake this right now, but what do I have to do to shake it? And how can I look to my teammates to help me do that?
So let me ask you this then, that kind of goes right into it. When someone has a bad attitude or makes a mistake, what happens to them? Do they play better? Do they play worse? What's kind of that cause effect that happens there?
When they make a mistake and they can't shake it?
Oh yeah, like mistake, miss a shot, whatever it is.
So when they're not letting it go and they just keep it in their head, then, you'll see that negative, their whole body changes. Their head drops, their shoulders drop. They just are mad about every single thing that they do. They get upset with their teammates. Everything becomes this big downward spiral. And until you can say, I don't want to do that anymore, or something can shake it out, then it just sucks you in. Oh,
yeah, definitely. I told one of my girls this weekend, because she's We kind of call her Softy because her mental toughness is very weak. So as soon as she misses a shot, she instantly drops her head, and she knows it because we tell her all the time. So this weekend, yesterday, I was telling her, every time that you miss a shot, you drop your head and you go, and then your whole body just sags down, and then you play worse, and you miss the next shot, and you miss the next shot, and then you get even more upset, and then you're about to cry. I said, so every single time you drop your head in this game or this weekend, you owe me 5 push-ups. And she thought it was funny. She thought it was great. So, but I noticed that every single time that she did, she looked at me and, I say, okay, there's 1. There's 5 push-ups. And she thinks it's funny. So she, picks up, right from there, she picks up her head and she does better. And she actually ended up showed me 15 push-ups, but that was between 2 different games. But in our championship game, she did it once. She looked at me, and then she picked her head right back up, and then she went and made another 3 and another 3, and had steals and layups, and was just playing really, really well. And so, sometimes kind of challenging that is, it's like a game, So she owed me 15 push-ups for the weekend, but I'll say that's a lot better because I can say on Saturday she would have owed me 50 push-ups.
Well, and for the fact that she responded and the fact that she thought it was funny, and she could say, okay, I see what I'm doing, and that's huge. And there are some people that just can't shake that because of whatever. So, for you to be a coach and just be able to, she has that rapport with you to be able to, take that as a game is, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. And it just takes time. Like we said, it just takes time and practice and acknowledging, oh my gosh, I don't need to drop my head. I'm okay to make mistakes. And if I need a break, I need a break, but it's okay.
Yeah, and it's that recognition. And I know that not all players would be able to react the way that she did this last weekend, but I think it definitely showed her oh my gosh, I do that all the time. Every single time I miss a shot, I instantly do that. Okay, what can I do so I don't? Okay, I'm recognizing I missed my shot and I'm upset about it, which that's okay. But instead of letting that affect excessively, she said, okay, I'm going to go make the next one.
Yeah, which is amazing, and that's the goal. You always want an end goal, and to teach the kids to be able to learn to say, okay, I'm okay, and that positive attitude is huge, and it's going to carry out not just, like I said, not just in the games, but in their whole everything in their whole life.
Yeah, and that goes right into, being able to improve, once they have the recognition of, I can get better. Okay, how can I improve? How can I keep doing this? So, for me, I was like, okay, how can we make this more fun? How can we make this something that she's understanding and she's wanting to improve, But, I thought it was really cool that she did react the way that she did, but not everyone would definitely react that way, that's for sure.
Well, and that just comes with time and rapport, too.
Oh, yeah.
So some people that's how they thrive. And until they make the conscious effort that that's not how they want to play, and understand that when they start having that different attitude, they're going to play better. And they're going to have a different rapport with their teammates, with their coaches, with how they play, everything. Everything changes.
Yeah. So let's go into more like the improvement, right? Getting better with our PMA. I know we've talked a little bit about this. It's called the 4 C's of mental toughness. So let's go and break those down. So the 4 C's are control, commitment, challenge, and confidence. So when it comes to the control portion of our mental toughness, do you want to go into that, Mom? What do you think that really, how does that affect, and how can you use that to improve your PMA?
So control is really your self-esteem, It's how you think about things. So what your thoughts are, so if I make a shot and I miss it and I get down on myself, I have to have the control in my own mind to say it's okay. And to be able to, say, I have it next time. I'm giving myself permission to be okay with it. So it's really controlling your emotions, controlling your thoughts, and what results you're going to get from just having a different thought about it.
Yeah, and just understanding that you do have control over your life and your emotions. Yeah, definitely. And then commitment. Commitment is the second C. Commitment is all your focus and reliability. Being able to set your goals and have targets and consistently be wanting to achieve them, right? You are working towards everything that you're doing is to work towards those, with creating habits and routines and fixing mistakes and wanting to learn, right? So you have to have the commitment to be able to get better. If you really want something and you have the determination to get there, you have to be committed to it. You have to be committed to getting to those goals.
Well, and your attitude and your how you deal with those, makes you have a stronger commitment as well. So if you have a positive attitude about what you're doing, it's going to drive you to do better and to make yourself work harder for your goals and your commitment to what you want. So it's that positive outlook really makes a huge difference in your commitment.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're working towards something that you don't truly want, it's hard to have that commitment. But if you truly have a passion for something, commitment should be, very easy, very easy for you to have, if that's something that you're really wanting and you're wanting to pursue goals within that, All right, and the third C is challenge. Why don't you go over that one, Mom?
Challenge is your drive and adaptability. Being high on challenge means that you are driven to do good. You can be just really focused on making what you want a thing and doing your personal best. You can see a challenge, change, and versatility, and a variety of opportunities rather than a threat. So you're taking it as, I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to be amazing at this, and really have that mental attitude that challenge isn't a thing. It's just something I got to go do, and it's going to make me better in the end.
Yeah, so, like if a coach were to say something to you that's to help you get better, instead of seeing it as oh my gosh, I'm doing so terribly, or my coach doesn't think I'm doing good, or I'm an awful player, seeing it as a failure, taking it as an opportunity. So not seeing it as a threat, for sure. Because everything that a coach really has to say to you is to help you get better, to improve your opportunities. So adapting, being able to adapt to all of your challenges, whether it's coaches, players, teammates, opponents, parents, whoever it is, you got to take it and you got to be able to adapt and accept the challenge.
Exactly.
All right, and the last C is confidence. Confidence is something that you need not just in sports. I mean, it's very important in sports, but you need to have it in your day-to-day life. Confidence is key to being able to be positive. If you don't have the confidence, then that's instantly bringing you into a negative side, which confidence is the complete opposite of negative. So being able to believe that your influence matters, and you believe in your own ability, right? So you're influencing yourself to perform at your highest self at all times. Being able to complete your task, being able to understand that other people are there to challenge you and be able to bring you up, and you need to be able to have your own confidence to bring other people up as well. Your teammates aren't a threat, they are to help you, right? But there is a line that we have to make sure we don't cross, right? We have confidence and we have arrogance. Okay? We don't want to have arrogance, because arrogance is really bad, confidence is believing in yourself, believing that you can be the best that you can be, being a good teammate. But arrogance is thinking you're better than everybody else, that can also bring down, bringing your teammates down, making them feel like they're less than they actually are. And that's that negative side of the confidence instead of the, positive side.
Exactly. And it's, we feed off of each other, and if others aren't building up your confidence, then it's a hard thing to accomplish. And so we just have to really pay attention to not just ourselves and how we are with ourselves, but also how we are with others, because what we say and what we do really affects everything within us. And until we can manage, especially at a young age, we're all trying to build that confidence. But until, you can do it yourself, we rely on other people to say, hey, you're doing awesome. Hey, you're amazing. Hey, that was an awesome shot. I wish I was as fast as you, or whatever it is. But we rely on others. And so we really have to pay attention to that as well.
Yeah. And it comes down to you need to understand how good you truly are in your abilities, but you also should be bringing up, people who you may know that you have more skill than them, but you should never make them feel bad. Don't make them feel bad for not being as advanced as you may be. Help them step up and be a team player, show them what they can do, try to explain it to them if a coach can't, or what, what I mean? Be a good teammate, be a team player, have that confidence in yourself to help others, right?
Exactly. Yep. That's the key, making sure that you're building up yourself and you're building up others, and you're going to have an amazing team, and you're going to have that positive mental attitude everywhere you go. So
and if we have all four of those C's of mental toughness, our confidence, the challenge, commitment, and control, if we practice all, that will help anybody's positive and mental attitude just skyrocket right from there. But we have to be able to have all four of those in our back pocket to use, for sure.
Exactly. So that's our great thing about positive mental attitude, and I hope that we were able to give some insight to coaches and parents and athletes today. Allie, do you have anything else on positive mental attitude that you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I just would say cut yourself some slack, we all have bad days, and you don't have to be perfect. Whether you're a parent, coach, or player, you don't have to be perfect, but do your best for yourself and do your best for your team, and just keep practicing that PMA.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening today. It's been fun, and looking forward to seeing all those positive mental attitudes out there for sure. So for next week.
Please feel free to comment on this video with any questions, experiences, or topics that you might want to learn more about. Keep helping us grow our community, and we will see you next week.
Sure. All right. Have a great week, everybody.